Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about the 20% error basically of education basically. In this basically one of the person told that basically big companies are basically getting good money basically like data science project basically we are and who basically is creating that basically we are not 100% confirmed basically, but somebody is creating na basically, that is 100% sure basically somebody is creating. And few people say that might be possible that consultant basically might be creating, who basically might be working from home basically. In that basically the few software companies basically the business development officers basically might be connected, because they 100% might be knowing that basically this type of activity is happening basically. That is the business development officers. They 100% might be knowing basically this. Not 100%, 200% basically. Business development officer of the each and every big software companies, they might be 100% because they are moving to Europe, moving to Asia, sorry, moving to USA, moving to Italy. They are moving basically. So they 100% might be doing this, all activities, which is 100% happening. But 100% I also basically can't say. I can say 99% basically happening, because 100% basically we also don't know basically. I basically got this information from one of the blog basically when I was working in 3i Infotech. That time basically cyber cafe was there basically, but currently not a single cyber cafe exists. Not a single cyber cafe exists in Mumbai. Mumbai exists, but cyber cafe does not exist. So 20 percentage is error basically. Somebody has tracked this, and in this basically the activities also basically he might have done lots of activities basically. If he has created this education sector basically, 80 percentage world basically he has created, then basically he is not basically might be sitting like this basically. He might be trying to solve the lots of activities problem basically. It might not be that he might not be doing this basically. And to keep the control of the entire education sector basically, he might be doing that he might be doing first basically. Otherwise he will do the hard work, and then basically anybody will take the control. Then basically what is the meaning of doing the hard work? So first controlling part he might be doing, and then basically the error basically solving might be doing. So he might be doing controlling part and error solving part both at side basically. Because if anybody will do hard work and then basically he will say that basically, यार मेरे हाथ में तो कुछ रहा ही नहीं, in my hand basically nothing is there basically, nothing is basically in my hand basically, he will basically tell like that basically. So that's why basically 20 percentage error basically is there, and somebody is trying to solve, keeping the control with his hand basically, keeping the entire control with his hand basically, within his hand basically. That also you can say, and with his hand also, that also you can say. If you want to remove in, that also you can remove basically. So that's why I told with hand and within hand. So like this basically the things are basically there. So 20 percentage error to hai basically, its error is there basically. And that land basically is shifting, that basically is land is shifting for a certain time basically, for few times basically. That also basically 98 percentage might be correct. And the list of activities which is happening when the land is basically is getting separate from the earth planet, that is the Asia land which is getting separate from the earth, the planet land, that also might be 100% correct. Sorry, not 100%, 98% basically might be correct, not 100% basically. And 100 plane basically which might be getting crashed, and the banks basically might be collecting the data, that also might be 100% correct. That's why basically lots of people says that World Bank database is always connected with the small banks also. Small banks also basically World Bank's database is connected. and this is basically system basically, that's very dangerous. To create the system basically in front of the public, that is the most dangerous task basically. We have to create the set of lessons, we have to create the set of practical examples, then also basically the system gets creates, then only basically the system gets created. For example, if you want to create one lesson in software industry, see basically that particular person is going, he is basically lesson for the software industry. See basically he is getting the job basically. So we have created the lesson basically. Like this basically the human resource group, business development group basically will say. This is basically just example I am telling. In really basically they are set it, then basically it might possible also basically. So 20% error is basically there in the education sector basically. In basically software industry basically what connects that error basically. Software industry basically also that connects the error. So like this, error basically is there. That is 100% sure basically. So for that, lots of people basically are doing the lots of stuff also and keeping the control with them also. Keeping the control with them also. So one other person told that the thing is basically just now you told that is one is the land basically is Asia land basically which gets separates from the Earth planet land, and Earth planet basically land is divided into 11 parts. That is 100% and 98% correct. Then basically the planet plane sorry the plane basically gets crashed in the Mount Everest Mount basically, that basically name basically Mount Everest basically, and then the Himalaya mountain, there basically the plane get crash. That is the thing, and the list of activity which happens basically that you told, that also you told. Then basically the list of activities happens while doing the, we are breaking the land basically. For that basically why we are breaking the land basically, there might be some stuff basically that has to be happen, that basically is not supposed to be track. For that basically the stuff basically that is happening is power supply data change, because computer is supposed to get on na basically. For that basically the power supply basically is the main thing basically, how basically the power supply is created. That is also basically one of the utility which is created by one group, that also is there. Then basically one of the person told that we keeps the data of the bank also, that is that from the data science project, with the help of that data science project which is created by the hundreds of big and small companies basically, which are controlled by the big companies. Then basically we basically got the information that basically the one is basically the data science project, one is the power supply, and one is the internet power supply chain basically. So these all are basically the activities, and there might be many activities they might be doing basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about these all activities.